I'm here with Dr. Prusak, fly fishing extraordinaire, and teacher at BYU. Today I had a couple questions for Dr. Prusak about fly fishing. And Dr. Prusak, how long have you been fly fishing for?
Probably 45 years.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's pretty incredible. What do you like most about fly fishing?
I like that fly fishing is a totally engrossing, all-encompassing sport. Um, Everything from the fly tier's bench, and you tie the flies just so that they imitate the natural food sources of the fish, to the very uh, the high skill level of actually delivering the fly in a way that the fish would normally see it presented to them, and then of course the thrill of the take. Um, you see the fly being hit by this live creature, and suddenly you're attached to them in a very intimate way, and uh, and then I think the culmination of holding that fish in your hands and being connected to nature in that way is very intimate, uh, very all-consuming experience.
Yeah, that's pretty incredible. Now, you teach the Healthy and Active Lifestyle
hmm
Management class at BYU. What are some of the health implications of fly fishing, and what are the personal benefits that you could get from it?
I learned years and years ago that there's a nickname to fly fishing. It's called the quiet sport.
Yeah.
That's really what it's called. It's called the quiet sport. And there's a reason why. It's because when you're in fly fishing, you're in the fish's element, and you have to stalk the fish much like you would in a hunting situation. Um, and so you have to slow your pace down to the rhythms of the river, to the rhythms of the fish, and and that takes a great deal of concentration, so much focus that everything else just melts away. All of the stresses, all of the things that you're worried about, they have to melt away, otherwise you can't be successful as a fly fisherman. The other thing that I think applies is I like where trout live. They live in beautiful mountain streams and lakes, and when I go there, there's a soothing effect about that. Water and the noise of water is a soothing kind of a thing. And so the surroundings that you're in, the amount of focus and concentration that it takes, that doesn't allow you to be encumbered by the difficulties you might be having in other areas of your life. It's a great stress reliever, a tremendous distraction from life's typical daily routines.
That's awesome. So, as you go fishing, like, what are a couple of the casting techniques that are your most favorite casting techniques, or anything that you?
Well, casting is part art and a lot of physics and skill. The art part it's a beautiful thing to watch. The rod does what it does. The line lays out just so. It comes back. It forms a beautiful loop, and then the loop, of course, lays out, and then the fly is delivered to the water. It's pretty. It's artistic. It's a dance, if you will. Um, and there are lots of ways to deliver the fly. The classic fly fishing cast, I think everybody has to learn that if you want to be a good fly fisherman. And so that's kind of the baseline, but it's also the most difficult. And then I think you go from the basic rhythm of, 10 to 2 if you watch the movie, river runs through it, and then you start playing with that. And then you get into specialty casts. But if you ask me what my favorite cast that makes me smile and laugh, always, it's the bow and arrow cast.
Yeah.
Imagine a stream where there's a tree that's hanging over the water, and there's no way the classic cast is going to get the fly down under that tree, but you see a big trout in there. And so my favorite cast is grabbing the tip of that fly hook, bending that rod back until it's like a bow
Yeah.
and arrow, and just letting that thing
Oh
go.
wow.
and then under the tree it goes, glub glub, and then the fight is on. I think it makes me smile that it works. It's creative in its. You got to get the fly to the fish, and fish are not stupid. They're under that tree for a reason. It's hard to get something that might put them in danger under that tree with them, and so it's a sneaky. It's funny. It's skillful, but it works because of all those things in the typical fly cast.
How long do you think it took you to learn that specific cast?
When I was really getting serious about fly fishing and the art of casting and the science behind it, I remember while I was coaching football, I would take my fly rod to the practice, the football field, and I'd stand on the 50-yard line. And it was late at night, and so often it would get dark before I was done. And so much of fly fishing is how it affects the rod and how it feels. And so as the sun was setting, I would stand there, and then you would feel it happen, and you go, okay, that feels right. But it probably took me 3 good years of work, a lot of hard work, to be able to do what I can do with a fly rod. And now I can throw 80 feet of line without any problem, and I can land the fly within 3 feet of my target.
And that's just a basic roll cast.
No, roll cast is a little bit different. That's again an adaptation from the typical fly cast. It's the forward half of the cast,
Okay.
so there's no back cast involved. But to actually make the fly line do what you want to do, it took probably 3 years. Now that being said, I still caught a lot of fish, even though I was sloppy in my technique. And you can catch a lot of fish, but to really hone your craft, I think it takes a lot longer in fly fishing than it does in any other form of fishing. To deliver the lure or the fly, it's very skill intensive. Not everybody sticks with it for that reason.
Right.
That's part of the appeal.
Yeah.
It's hard enough that people give up on it, and I like the idea that it's a challenge and makes you want to stick with it, and that it didn't come easy is part of the appeal for me as a fisherman.
Well, I love fishing as well, and I've done it for about 6 months now. Dr. Prusak took me out, and he showed me a few things on the river. So I guess at least it's one more thing to do. It's time to go fishing.
Amen to that.
Thanks, Dr. Prusak.
You bet. Thanks for coming.
You bet.